guys, welcome again on ITS Information Technology Skills. On this video, we're going to create input fields with tkinter. So let's start. In Python guys, input field or text field is called as entry. So entry is a widget used to display a single line text field for accepting values from a user. For example, we want to get the user's name. Okay, so we have here a label, enter your name. So this box is what we call as the entry. Okay, so this box is where the user place or input his or her name. So now guys, let's have the code. You can use any Python IDLE that you have. Okay, so if you're going to observe, I already placed some code on our program. Okay, so I already import the tkinter. Okay, so I use *3 for all the packages. Then the name of the window is root. Of course, we have the main loop. Then I also added a label and a button. Okay, so the text of the label is enter your name, which will be the prompt to tell that the user needs to enter his or her name. Then of course we have the button that will be clicked later on to test if the input value is accepted. Okay, so if you want to learn about the other widgets in Python, I'll be placing the link down below or on the top of your screen. And of course, if you want to learn more about computer programming, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more tutorial videos. Now if we're going to run this without the entry, the output will be like this. So beside the text enter your name, we're going to place an entry or the box that we have a while back. Okay, to do that, copy this code first. So now guys, we added this code. Okay, so if you're going to observe, we have here the keyword entry. So the name of our entry is E1, but if you don't want E1, of course you can have another variable name for our entry, and E1 will be placed on our root. So we're going to use grid to arrange our widgets. So E1 will be placed on row 0, column 1, which is beside L1, which is our label, enter your name. So now let's try to run this. So this will be the output. Okay, so now guys, we have here a box. This is our E1. Okay, so we can type any text here depending on the, of course, name of the user. Okay, so that is how we add entry on our GUI. Just use the keyword entry. Okay, so here guys, we have some of the options that are commonly used for entry. We have the option BG. Okay, so BG is used to change the background color of the widget. So let's try it on our entry, of course. So if you say options guys, these are the value that is being placed inside the parentheses. Okay, so let's have comma to add other options. Okay, so let's have BG. BG is used to change the color of the entry. Let's try blue. Then this will be the output. Okay, so you can place there any color that you want. So aside from the word value of the color, you can also use the hexadecimal value of a color. So for the hexadecimal, you can use the sharp symbol to start that, and of course the hexa value. Now let's try 3 zeros to have black. Okay, so now you're going to observe our entry is color black. So I repeat, you can use the word value or the hexadecimal value of the color. Next option, we have the BD. BD is used to change the border size of the widget. Okay, so BD is in pixel form. So now guys, let's try BD on our code. Okay, so I want the default one, that's why I'll be removing this. Then let's try BD. Okay, so for the BD, it is in pixel form. You're going to place an integer value. Okay, so let's try 20. Then this will be the output. Okay, so if you're going to observe, the border size of the entry is bigger. Okay, so that is the use of BD. Then next we have the cursor. Okay, the cursor is used to change the pointer when you hover or point the widget. Okay, so you can set the cursor into arrow. That is the default. We have dot and others. Okay, so basically we're not going to try it on our code because you cannot view it, but you can try it on your own. Okay, the next we have FG. FG is just the same with BG. If BG is the background color, FG is the font color. Okay, so let's try it on our program. Okay, so I want again the default one, that's why I'll be removing BD and we're going to try FG. Okay, so FG is the same with BG, so you can use the word or the hexadecimal value of the color. Okay, so let's try red, and this will be the output. If you're going to observe, the color of the text is color red. Okay, we can also have the hexa value, so let's try F00. Then again, the color is red because F is present, 0 is absent, so RGB, that is our color. So if we want green, of course we have 0F, then run again. Now the color of the text is color green. Then we also have the font option. Okay, so font option is used to change the font type of the text. Okay, so I want again the default one. I want black, so we're going to remove this. Okay, so let's try font option. Okay, so if you're going to observe, we also have font on our label and on our button. Okay, so the value is 40. Now let's try 40 here on our entry. Okay, so let's try equals to 40 and observe the output. Okay, now if you're going to observe, our font is much bigger for the entry. Okay, so aside from placing the font size, we can also place or change the font style of the widget. Okay, so we can have parentheses for font to group all the properties that we want to change on our font. Okay, so now let's try using Arial block with size 10. Okay, now let's try the output. On our entry, guys, let's try entering our name. Okay, so let's try IDS. Okay, then the output is like this. So this is the Arial block with size 10. Okay, so Arial block is quite bigger, that's why our font size is quite smaller than the original or the 40 font size. Okay, so if you're going to use 40 here, observe, using Arial block, we have much bigger entry. The next, let's try using Times New Roman with size 20 and observe what will happen. So this is the Times New Roman size 20. So let's say if this is Times New Roman, IPS. Okay, so this is Times New Roman. Aside from the font style and the font size, you can also place here or identify if the font inside the entry or the text inside the widget is in bold, italic, or underline. Okay, so for that, we have the third parameter or the third value, which is bold. So for the output, let's try ITS and then observe our text now is in bold letter. If you want it italic, you can have another, then type italic. Let's try IDS. So observe, it is in bold and italic. But if you don't want to make it bold, we can remove bold, then observe the output again. So if you want to make it underline, we can change italic to underline. Observe there is an underline on our text. Okay, so but if you want those three, we can have those three. We can place bold, italic, and underline. So for now, guys, I want to use Arial block size 10 or size 12. So now, guys, we also have the next option, which is show. So show option is used to show the entry text of some other type instead of the string. So basically, it is used for password. Okay, so here, guys, let's have comma for the other option. Okay, so the next option we have show. Okay, so if you want to show asterisk instead of the string, just place here asterisk. Okay, so it is in place on a double quote. This is string value. So now let's try to type IDS, then observe it display string instead of the character that I type, which is IDS. asterisk, you can have the sharp or other characters that you want to place instead of the original character. Okay, so we're not going to use this one, that's why I'll be removing this. Next, we have the text variable. It is set to instance of the string var to retrieve the text from the entry. So basically, text variable is used to set the variable name wherein you're going to store the value of the entry. Okay, so we're going to use this later on if we have a command on our button. Then next we have the width. Width is used to change the width size of the widget. Okay, so this is the default width of the text, but if you want to change this, let's try width equals to 10. Observe the entry becomes smaller. If you want to make the width of the entry much longer, of course, make the value of the width higher. Okay, let's try 100. This will be the output. So I want the default one, that's why I'll be removing this again. So guys, we're done with the options. Now let's have the methods. So I have here the 3 commonly used methods for entry. So first, let's have get. Okay guys, on our code to perform the methods, let's try to add a command on our button. Okay, so this command will perform an action if we click the button. So let's say our command name is C1. Okay, so that will be our command. So now guys, our command will be placed here, line 9. Okay, so why line 9, not line 12? Okay, because if you're going to place your command after the button, there will be an error. So let's have here the code on line 9 first, and I'll be showing the error later on if we place the command after the button. Okay, so copy this code and I'll be explaining what it means. Okay, so we have here def C1. If we're talking about def, this is a function. So we're going to have a function to compile our code or our command. Okay, so if we click the button, we're going to create another label. Okay, so the name of the label is L2, and let's place the label on the root, of course, on our GUI, and the value of that label will be the text that is being input by the user, which is the value of E1. Okay, so using the get function or the get method, it will get the text inside E1. Then using with guys, we're going to place L2 on the bottom of B1. So let's try the output. Here, let's try entering IDS info text skills. Then let's try clicking the button submit. Observe, we have here a text, info text skills, which is the value being displayed inside the entry E1. Okay, so basically this is L2, the label L2. So if you're going to change the text, of course, let's say you're going to place hello IDS, that's my name. Then click submit. It overlaps the first value of L2. Okay, so now guys, let's try placing this command or function after B1. Okay, so let's try placing it here on line 15. Then observe the output. Okay, so there will be an error. Then error will be C1 is not defined on this line. Why C1 is not defined? Because you already use C1. You indicate here that you're going to use C1 without defining it. Okay, where does C1 being defined? It being defined here. So take note that Python uses interpreter. So basically, after reading this part, it will interpret that there is already C1. To remove that error, let's place it here before the button. Okay, so now guys, to remove the overlap of the value for the L2, we're going to place L2 on a label frame. Okay, so copy this code first and I'll be explaining what it means. Okay, so we're going to create or add a label frame on our root. Okay, so the text for that label frame will be output to indicate that that is the output. Then let's place that label frame on row 3 column 1. So basically we're going to copy this one, then change L2 to LF, that is the name of our label frame, then place it on grid row 0 column 1. Okay, so now guys, let's place L2 inside label frame. So if you're going to observe, L2 is basically placed on the root. Okay, so we're going to remove this and change that into LF, which is the label frame. Okay, then now we're not going to use this, we're not going to use grid, we're going to use pack. Okay, so to remove the overlap. So basically, pack will display the verse value if you click the button. Then if you're going to click again, it will display the next value on the next line. That is the use of the pack. Okay, so we cannot merge grid and pack. So if you want to use pack with grid, you're going to use a label frame or another container for that one. Okay, just like this. Now let's try to run the program. Okay, so let's try first ITS, click submit. Observe, we have the output ITS. Then if we're going to add something, let's say info text skills, then click submit. Okay, so we have ITS, info text skills. So every time that we click submit, it added another widget, okay, on the next line. That is the use of pack. So it is nice to use pack if you don't want to remove the first widget or overlap the widget. So now guys, what if you want to get the text and make the text capitalized, or all the letters of the text is being capitalized? What are you going to do? Okay, so we're going to use, of course, get to get all the text inside the entry. Then we have another method, which is upper. Okay, so this method will capitalize all the characters. Now let's try to run the program. Okay, so let's try small letter ITS info text skill. Then if we click the button submit, observe that the output is being capitalized. Then the opposite of upper, of course, we have the lower, to have small letter characters. So that's it. I'll be removing this. I want the default one. Next method, we have the delete. Delete function or delete method is used to delete the specific character inside the widget. So the parameter inside the parentheses is the index that you want to delete. For the delete, we're going to add here. Okay, so let's have this code. Okay guys, observe, we have added e1.delete. Then inside the parentheses is 0. So basically, we want to delete the first character of the entry. So let's try. Okay guys, so here let's try info text skill. Then let's click submit. Okay, so on the output we get, of course, the text that we have on the entry, which is info text skills. But now if you're going to look at the entry, which is E1, we only have n text skill. Letter I is being deleted. So if you want to indicate the ending or the last index that you want to delete, okay, so you can have another parameter. Okay, so let's have index 0 until index 2 to be deleted. Okay guys, here again let's try info text skills, then click submit. So on the output we get info text skills, but on the entry we have text skills. Okay, so why text skills? The first and the second character is being deleted. We indicated here 2. It means that it will stop if it reaches index 2. So basically it will remove index 0, then next is index 1, then it will stop at index 2. That's why we have FO text skills. Now what if we want to remove all the letters? Are we required to count all the characters of the name? Of course no. So we don't know how long is the name of the user. So for that we have n. N is used to indicate that it will remove the first index until the last index. Let's try. Again, we're going to use info text skills. then click submit. On the output, we have info text skills. On the string or on the entry, the text is already deleted, or all the text is being deleted. Okay, so that is the use of delete. Now we have the method insert. Okay, so for the method insert, you're going to insert a character on a specific index. Okay, so we have here the index and the string or the character that you want to insert. So for that, guys, we're going to remove, of course, delete, and we want to insert something, so we're going to use the insert method. Okay, so let's say we're going to insert something on the first index, and what is that? Let's say we want to have sharp symbol for that. Then let's try to run the program. So again, let's try info text skills. Let's click the button. Observe, we have info text skills, and on our entry we have added or inserted sharp info text skills. Okay, so that is the use of insert. Can we add or insert sharp if we click the submit button and place it on the output? Okay, so let's try. On the code, let's remove this part, Control X, then place it before getting the text. Okay, so basically we're going to insert first before getting the text to display it on the label. Okay, now let's try. Okay, let's have ITS, then click submit. If you're going to observe, we have sharp ITS or hashtag ITS. So that's it, guys. Those are the methods used in entry. If this video helps you, don't forget to like, and of course, if you want to learn more about computer programming and other computer stuff, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more tutorial videos. Bye!